Howdy y'all, it's Aaron here, and in this episode, I'm gonna share with you how to know if your Facebook ads are working and how to repeat that successful process. As always, make sure that you grab something to take notes with and stick around until the end where I'm gonna share with you how you will know what to do to scale your ads once you start to have winning ad combinations. All right, so number one is to set up your ads correctly. Now, I see a lot of people setting up tests by audience, which at this point doesn't really matter that much. Even our lookalike audiences aren't going to be as powerful as what they were before because of the new iOS update. That being said, a lookalike of your past customers, if that list is around 2,000 to 3,000, may still be large enough for you to see some success at a 10% lookalike. But let me show you how to set up these ads first. All right, so I'm gonna quickly show you how this campaign was set up. I'm not gonna walk you through exactly what I did here, only because there's plenty other videos out there that will explain what this is, but I'm gonna walk you through one that's already set up right now. So this campaign is broken up into a purchase campaign. So let's go here and I'll show you what I mean. So you'd set it up, create campaign, make sure that it's focused on purchases, make sure that it's focused on campaign budget optimization, which just means the budget is distributed at the campaign level. This is a lower budget right now. Typically, I would say to start at 50 or 100, but again, this is testing. So 50-ish is a good place to start. All right, run ads all the time. Our ad set, let me go ahead and explain this. So it's broad. We're going to a very large audience, and I'll explain a little bit more of that later. So broad audience, focus on purchase. We want conversions. A very large audience, you can see 100 million people here. This age range is 25 to 65 plus. Like I said, typically we would do this a little bit lower. We'll find out. Then manual placements, Facebook, and then Instagram. We took off audience network. Messenger really isn't an option for this one. So pretty simple. And then right here, we say 1 day after clicking or viewing. So basically we want to find people or tell Facebook to find people within that 1 day. But this 1 day after clicking or viewing is basically what this is saying is that after 1 day, we want to track the sale for Facebook. If it doesn't happen with that 1 day, it may be something else that attributed to that sale, whether it's email or SMS or Messenger. It could be a Google ad, could be YouTube. Doesn't matter, that it's attributed to something else besides Facebook, and we only want that to be tracked inside of Facebook for our purposes, so we know if the ad is actually effective. All right, that's it. Now, the magic here is the most important part, and let me just make sure that we have this one thing correctly done, which is that this is set up as a dynamic creative. To make sure that this is set up as a dynamic creative, and just toggle that on. And let me show you what that means. All right, so on the ad level, you can see that there's 10 different options inside of here, 10 different images. Most of these are lifestyle photos. We're actually just waiting to get some more videos and content because this isn't really the setup strategy we would suggest, but it does show you that there are 10 pieces of content here, assuming that the client or that you can get videos because we really want to push the videos. However, something is better than nothing. This is a good example of that. It's still getting purchases and very profitable. There are also 5 sets of primary text and 5 sets of headlines that we've tested over a period of time. Again, this testing is for you to try out new things. But this is how I would set it up. Now, we'll get into a little bit more later of like what you need to do inside of each one of these steps, and I'll show you what you need to do once you find the winning elements and how to continuously get better. We'll talk about those a little bit later in the video. All right, before we cover number 2, I just wanted to say howdy. My name's Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding, and we're an e-commerce growth agency that specializes in helping clothing stores grow and scale profitably online. Hey, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the latest strategies for clothing stores. We drop new content every single week. All right, so number 2 is to test different types of creative. And when I say creative, I mean media, I mean things that you can actually run to your audience. To do a true test, you need to make sure that you're trying out different types of creative in the beginning. Now, once you know what type of ads are going to do well for your audience, then you can test more of those. I always like to try a combination of different ads to give Facebook enough options to run a real test. The ads we suggest you to start out with that have been the best so far for us, the following are these. So number 1, 3 lifestyle photos. So this could be you in a scenario that is related to your product or the type of audience that you have and their aspirations. 3 product photos, exactly what it is. Product photography, if you can, use an actual model in the photos. I do like the clean white backgrounds of the product on the website, but for advertising, we like to see people. It's just super helpful to kind of stop the scroll and just more engaging. Number three collection or quick movement videos, just something to catch attention. This could be a fast pace showing the products. This could be, again, fast paced of something to music, but just really showing, and it could even be lifestyle photos with a video background or a song. Facebook even does some of these for you, but test the video side of things to show your products. And the last one here is one that we will quickly change to becoming a larger amount of what to do, as we've seen it do really well. It's just a matter of being able to capitalize on trends for it, right? So the last one here is a TikTok style video or UGC. And there are TikTok style videos, what I would call like trending videos that you can use for a long period of time. The trouble with using something like a TikTok or UGC style video is that they lose momentum over time, so you need to continuously be updating them, just like what you do for your testing. It's just sometimes hard to take them from testing to your prospecting if the trend dies out. Now, when I say trend dies out, it could be 3 months, could be 4 months, but that does not mean that you should not be testing these. And like I said, you can do more or less of them depending on your audience and really what's resonating with them. This is just our structure to start out. All right, so do not make this mistake when you don't run your test long enough. So run the test long enough to get data to make a decision. So if your objective is conversions, or you should be going for purchases, then you got to let Facebook or even whatever insert other platform, they have to get those conversions before you make any type of changes. A higher budget will allow you to test faster, but you can still run with a smaller budget and run it for a longer period of time. Honestly, you're gonna really spend about the same amount of money. It just depends on your budget and the course of time that you want to test them. But like I said, typically this is gonna take you 1 to 2 weeks to test. It used to be shorter, right? You could do something in like 3 to 4 days, but with the lack of data, it can sometimes take 5 to 7 days for Facebook to even start to optimize, which means that you need to let Facebook optimize and then give it enough time for it to start to learn even better to be able to see which ads actually perform. So really those first 5 days, just consider those, I don't know, I really wouldn't even necessarily look at your ads because it's not gonna have enough data to really, for Facebook to make a decision. So you shouldn't be doing either. Sometimes I know people look at it like the stock market and it can go and drive them crazy. So give 5 days or so before you start to really look at the ads, and then you can start to see which ones are going to perform better. All right, so number 3 is to look for winning combinations. Now that the ads have been running, a combination of 250 different ones, honestly, which is pretty cool, it's time to find the winner. So you let this run long enough, you tried different types of ad creative, you didn't really worry about the audience because the audience doesn't matter, Facebook's gonna find that audience. But this process will look the same for you each time, and you will get better and better at choosing the right elements and replacing the ones that do not work or aren't as effective. So let me show you what to look for right here. And I'm gonna break this down. We're gonna look at these main things right now, but I wanna jump into Facebook Ads Manager and show you what to look for. All right, so the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have your columns set up. We're not gonna necessarily go into them here, but you can go and customize your columns how you would like to view it. So the first thing I'm interested in is conversions, right? So this says return on ad spend, how much did I make, which is important. But total sales, right, is the important part. Where did I make the money? Now, this is maximum for this testing campaign, but where exactly are the conversions here? Now, I'm gonna go to this dynamic breakdown, and you'll see here, okay, which one of these actually made the most purchases. All right, so this first one right here is one that has been shown to somebody 6-7 times over the period of how long this has been running, but it's made $1,500. This second one here, another $1,500. So a good chunk of revenue here, 6.5 times its money, 9.5 times its money, so it's done well. The interesting part here to make sure that you understand is, did this happen on the website? Did this happen on an offline conversion through an app? Did it happen through something else? But you really wanna know, where did that revenue come from? And then did it come through Facebook? Facebook's shop has just rolled out and people have been using that as well. But no, the answer is no, this had 0 purchases there and it had made $77 on the second campaign. So that's number one. The next thing, if you're looking at it and you don't really have data to go off of as far as conversions, right? You haven't been running this long enough, you don't have much data. Look at the click-through rate. Which one of these, and you can see here, the one that had the most purchases has the highest click-through rate. That's because at least the ad at this point, we know that there's a winning element with this ad, whether it's the color that pops out. I think we'll look at the image here in a second. I have it pulled up towards the end. But it has a high click-through rate and has the highest amount of add to cart, so Facebook gave that more data. But really, this click-through rate is telling us that this ad, this combination of image and text and headline did well enough that Facebook started to show it to more people, and we get 3% of people who saw the ad to click through, which is great. We're shooting for 2% or above. Now, the add to cart value. So this has 32 add to carts, but I'm really interested in the value. And what this means is just how much money did this ad generate in people adding to their cart, right? So how much money is left in the cart right now? All right, so you can see very quickly here that this one right here had $2,000 in add to cart value. Our second one, actually, that didn't get as much purchases, also had $2,000 in add to cart value. And then our third image, which had the most revenue, actually was trailing by about $600 in add to cart value, which just means that more people like this product added to cart and we didn't incentivize them enough to make that purchase. But if you don't have the purchases, you want to see this number right here at obviously a higher value, right? If you spend $100, you want this to eventually be like 1,000 or 2,000. So a 10x is what we're looking for people to add to cart for that conversion value. Once you have something that's about that 10x per ad, then you can start to say, hey, this is the winner, right? Even if you don't have conversions, if it has a good click-through rate, a good add to cart value, then you have something that you can start to move forward with. Now, the last thing to look forward to is just relevance score. Now, the relevance score may or may not show up for you. And what that is it's just telling you like how effective your ads are for Facebook and to your audience. Now, the relevance score is also a number that, like, if you're doing dynamic creative, like I said, we'll go back into this, it may not show it for you because there's so many different ads and it hasn't been running long enough. Likely you will not see this, but if you don't have any conversions, you do have an okay click-through rate, you do have some add to cart value, you may eventually get a relevance score that will pop up and it will tell you, hey, is this ranking well as far as the feed? Is it, you have a good post-click experience, meaning your website is good? Does it have good engagement? Those right here that I'm highlighting are actually what you're going to be looking for as the last barrier of, are these ads good enough? So really those first three are the main ones, right? They're actionable data, but if you don't have any of those and you do have a relevant score, you at least know you're going after the right people. You just need to maybe create more content or add more budget. All right, guys, before I show you the most important part of figuring out which ads are working and how to scale them, I wanted to tell you about our free masterclass training for clothing stores that will walk you through the 5 pillars that you must have in place for your online store to scale consistently and profitably, no matter what is going on. If you want access to this free training, make sure you click the link down in the description below. All right, so number 4, and probably the most important part, this is the one that if you've watched this far into the video, nobody really explains how to do. So we've talked a lot, right? And up to this point of this video, we've talked a lot about dynamic creative and how to make that work. But if you're ready to go to that next level, you're ready to figure out if your ads actually work and find the winning combinations, then you need to be able to find the ad ID and isolate that ad ID so that you can scale. To be honest, this takes a little work, but it's also possible, and once you get the hang of it, it will completely set you apart from your competition because I almost guarantee you that they are not doing this. And when I say work, it just means that you have to spend a little bit of time to find the post ID. As I come up with new solutions to find those post IDs, I will put them in these videos. Right now, this is the best that I know of, and I'm gonna walk you through it right now. All right, so now that you've figured out, right, which one of these are actually profitable, like I said, we had this set up here to make sure that this was doing well. And when I say doing well, we actually got purchases. Well, this image right here did extremely well. So let's check it out. Awesome, I knew I would show it to you later. I think it's really just a lot of bokeh, which means there's blurred in the background, it's white, and then they're wearing orange, so it just kind of like pops on the screen. So I think that's what helps with the click-through rate. Probably a great product as well, but really I think that's what makes this image. But now you want to know, okay, well, I can't grab this image and make this image into an ad. No, you cannot, but you can go to the ad level here, click on edit, and then choose this button right here to see Facebook posts with comments. Once you do that, it starts to open up all the individual ad IDs. Like I said, there's 200 of them, and if it will load, right? So this is the first one because it's the most popular, which is awesome. We have 34 engagements, 17 comments, 2 shares. It's just super engaging. Another one right here. So as you would have to literally scroll through all of these to find the right combination of what worked. But once you did, you could grab that post ID and it would work. So I click on this right here. This is the date, and it will pull up this page. Once you get this post ID, you want this number right here, you'll be able to go and create a new ad. So let me copy that over. I'm gonna go and create a new campaign again. I'm gonna create a new campaign, conversions. I'm not gonna set up anything right here. I'm just gonna show you how to make this work. Choose the manual side of things. There is a streamlined method if you're not as familiar with Facebook ads, but if you watched any of our videos or need to go back in the past on how to set these up, go do that. All right, so I'm gonna go to the ad level here. Like I said, we'll make sure we select the right page. And then you can see here, create ad, use existing post. We're gonna select the post. You could type it in, oops. You could type it in right here and make that work, or you can just click, copy, submit, and use this post ID section right here, and it will literally grab this post ID. The best part, see this? All the social proof is brought over. So basically, you keep all the social proof, right? All the 17 comments, the 2 shares, the 34 engagements, that's awesome. But the most important part, Facebook learns by the ad. So you're gonna take all the learning from that particular ad and put it into a new campaign isolated and give it more budget. You already know that Facebook thinks that this ad is great. Facebook doesn't have to relearn anything, and now it's gonna be spending money on a campaign or an ad that's already working. So it's gonna keep the right headline, it's gonna keep the right text copy, it's gonna keep all the same elements, and you literally just have to scale it at this point. So you can start to add more budget to it. It's up to you. There'll probably be another video on how to scale and whatever else, but that's literally it on what you would need to do. Like I said, we'll probably do another video where you can change the posts from inside of here and you can actually look at ad posts and go and look through all of them. That does take a little bit more work too, but it is possible. It may take more time to do it this way, where you have to go in through the post, but it is possible, where you click on add post and go into search for all the different options. But if you don't really need to do that for here, we'll pick the winning elements, and then what you would need to do next, right? And this is probably its own video, right? We'll do a more advanced Facebook ads, like what to do afterwards, but the key here, and let me go ahead and delete this campaign. All right, so I'm gonna make sure that this is no longer on here. Delete that campaign. You would go back to your top of the funnel testing, and then, all right, go ahead inside of there. You would need to go in here, and hopefully you have 2 to 3 winners, and you would pull out the elements from those 2 to 3 winners and put them into their own isolated campaign, and then drop in new ones as well. So you always want to have 10 in here. Like I said, we have images that need to be updated here to be into graphics, and we also have videos that need to be put in here. But we already have this winning element, so let's go ahead and replace that one. Then we'll put in new things for testing and keep trying to improve, right? This is a constant battle of what is the lowest performing, kick those out, the best performing, move them up. But like I said, we will do a more advanced Facebook ads video on what to do and how to move these elements back and forth. That's probably its own 15-20 minute video of the testing and the methodology for moving ads back and forth to figure out which is the best performing videos or images or content creative. All right, so outside of this, I want to tell you guys about one little secret we're using for everyone that we work with to help give Facebook more data. You're probably familiar with the iOS update that happened in 2021 that gave Facebook less data, but we found a solution, and that solution is called Tripwell. They have the ability to connect directly to Shopify and send even more data back to Facebook, giving Facebook the confidence to attribute more conversions and data. So think about it this way. Shopify tells Facebook how many sales that you actually had, which gives more data back to Facebook to give confidence to Facebook to make sure that it can run ads to more people like the people who just purchased from you. So if you want this software, just check out the link in the description down below for Tripwell. Go check it out. It is an amazing software to help give you more data and better sales for your online advertising campaigns. All right, guys, I'm wishing you all nothing but success. And if you like this video on Facebook ads, then you are definitely gonna wanna check out this video right here that is all about how to add profit into your business with email marketing. And no, email is not dead. So go check out that one next, and I'll see you guys in the next video.